Well, Unsung.
Yeah, he
Don't get those two confused.
Not YoungSung.
That's not
Unsung.
on purpose.
Yeah, but no, he used to play serious. So, like, speaking to what you're saying, he's so versatile. You can see this dude play anything. But since Skywind on the other side has only been playing Freya, I think it's incredibly likely we'll just see him on the Ulrich because that comp is kind of like the classic melee support duo right now. But you know, he's actually just gonna say, "You guys are idiots. I'm playing older." Yeah.
Oh no, that's YoungSung on older.
Oh, apologies. Yeah. So on the other
We're
side,
still probably idiots.
I'm definitely still an idiot.
but Alicia, I like the Alicia pick for Excel Wizards.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of practice from Duizzle coming out on this Alicia. The Esmo, it hasn't been having much success, like we mentioned. They've been struggling quite a lot. So they're taking these last couple games to try to switch it up, see if they can manage to sneak out a win, find themselves in the 3rd seed.
Yeah.
And older Alicia for YoungSung, I like this quite a lot. I think there's a lot of damage that can be put out by these two characters. Alicia, it's really surprising the damage just her M1 does. Her M1 does 15, and the attack speed is significantly higher than that of Jumong or another range character like that. So she just throws out these ice spears over and over. And if you have good accuracy, which YoungSung, I think any of those players definitely do, you can just put out some silly damage.
But look at that, Skywind on Shifu. So he's going to be off the Freya pick, and I really, really like this. I've always enjoyed watching Shifu play as much as it triggers you guys, and I'm sure hearing that you all grated your teeth a little bit.
All right.
Who actually likes Shifu?
I wonder if we'll see a Niwa Lucy. I think a Niwa Lucy is very possible.
Hey! Look, he's not an idiot. Look, guys.
I'm still an idiot. don't raise my ego too much. Keep me down. The Thorn for YoungSung. So they're doing some interesting stuff. We saw the Thorn older last game. Didn't have quite as much success as Entropy wanted, but we still saw it. So teams are thinking about this comp quite a lot. And interesting to note, this isn't the double support. So I think we're going to be seeing, I think what we'll see is Rare Peep on the Thorn and then Ninjas on the Alicia. We've seen Ninjas play Jumongs for stints on different teams a while ago. So he's definitely capable of playing that range DPS role. And I think Jeter just really likes this older. Gosh, I love YoungSung so much. Most of the time you just see these comps and you're like, well, this player obviously plays this. This player obviously plays this, as we did for Excel Wizards. But all of these players so incredibly versatile. I have to sit here and think about what each one is going to play.
And that's actually insane because I think learning a champion in this game is super important. And again, if you haven't played a whole lot and you're looking to get into it, I think you should pick one and stick with them for an extended period of time.
I think so too.
Really understand the mechanics and the interactions because that's how you can kind of look at two others and be like, oh, that's why they do that because this interaction works that way.
Right.
But it's also the class that you're playing, whether you're doing ranged, melee,
and they play so different.
Or support. They play so differently, which is why generally when we talk about it, it's super obvious to know who's on Shifu for Excel Wizards is because we know who their melee player is. We know who spends so much time playing melee. But with YoungSung, the fact that they can play all three, which is just kind of insane, because the mentalities are seriously drastically different.
Yes.
I'm the most hot garbage support that there is. I can't do it. I'm so bad at it.
I won't confirm nor deny that.
I just don't know how to think. I'm just like, I kind of want to do damage, but I'm supposed to heal you. And then I spend either the whole time M2ing and healing you and doing no damage, or I forget I can heal you and I just try and do damage. I'm so bad at it.
Someone quote that, by the way. Findable Carpet, 2K18, I don't know how to think.
I don't know how to think.
But yeah, so
people know that. They've been watching me long enough.
We do see Ninjas on the Alicia. Makes a lot of sense, as he used to play ranged, like I mentioned. And Jeter on his older. This has become kind of a signature character. Generally, I associate older with Stro. But Jeter, he's shaking that up a little bit and showing that Stro's not the only one that can pop off on this character.
Look at the AoE we see from YoungSung. We have Older, we have Alicia, and we have Thorn.
Yes.
Thorn between Barb Husk and Ultimate. EXM2, why not? I'll call that AoE. You just kind of spray that down. You might as well call it that. I think that's going to be a bit of a pain, a lot of orb control for them.
You know, we've seen, when we talk about YoungSung's play in the past couple weeks, the one thing I would say about them is that they play coordinated. So, off the back of this Thorn with all the AoE, like you mentioned, I feel like we might see some really filthy combos. Rare Peep going to be setting up a lot, both for Ninjas and his E, dropping that ice, getting some freezes on enemies, and even just the quicksand from Older. There's a lot of combo potential from this comp off of very, very low risk abilities, like Entangling Roots. So we might see them taking huge chunks of damage or HP out of their enemies for no damage on themselves.
Something else we noticed from YoungSung in their first week, their game against Space Station Gaming, they had less damage but still took the win because they're mostly into burst damage. But now we'll see Skywind just try and keep Ninjas at bay as long as possible. He's won on the trade, he has the EX space in the way out, so he'll lose almost nothing. While trying to take Ninjas down as low as possible. The orb is up, there's a nice pull. But it actually, YoungSung will snag the first orb.
Yeah, they barely get that one. And I spent so much time talking about YoungSung, I didn't talk about Skywind Shifu. This Shifu actually a very strong pick into Thorn, as he could very easily farm M1s. But with that counter usage and burning the space, the EX space, and not getting any value, he's now in a little bit of trouble here. And YoungSung gonna try to capitalize it on a little bit.
The barrier was able to help him out, and blue team will sneak that in through the ultimate from Rare Peep. The entangle onto one. There's an ultimate follow-up. Oh, she's gonna get so much damage here, but no, she won't. Lucy comes back alive with the spacebar, trying to shield herself. Here comes Skywind. Just right now trying to stay alive, dodge as many things as possible. The X space is there, heals him up a lip.
Ooh, nice in cap and a good goo, getting a decent amount of damage onto YoungSung. But Excel Wizards are still at a 40% HP deficit, Carpet. They're going to have to find a big combo, some big M2s from Skywind to bring this back. But a freeze, oh, it's going to be dodged by the Immaterial just barely.
But it did force a roll out of Niwa, so he's got no energy. He's so far away from his teammates.
Look how far back he's positioned. He knows he's weak right now and has to play defensively, and that gives YoungSung the orb for free.
He's trying to yell at Skywind, making sure not to break line of sight, but he's going to have to chase down Ninjas eventually.
Yeah.
He can't stay too far away for long.
Niwa has no healing charges either, constantly running so low because Skywind is engaging so hard. Skywind's going to try to heal up on his EX space, but now Niwa's caught out. No energy for that roll. He finally gets it off of an M2, but on the other side of the fight, Skywind dies.
DeWizzle doing a good job of keeping health, which at least is good for Niwa because he doesn't need to focus on DeWizzle since he's dodging so much, but that also means DeWizzle isn't putting himself in danger to deal more damage. He's struggling with that because Jeter's still able to keep his charges up and heal at bay, plus 2 extra orbs for them. It's a lot of health.
Yeah, you can really see the difference in the amount of discipline in each of these teams by their positioning in that last round. So YoungSung, we constantly saw them grouping together, not splitting up, recognizing that they're strongest when they're as a unit. Skywind, on the other hand, on the side of Excel Wizards, he was constantly getting split from Niwa, and of course that's bad just because Niwa can't heal him, but what it also means for Niwa is that he's lacking in resources because your healing charges on M2 recharge faster when your allies are close to you and within line of sight.
Yeah.
So when you get so split like that, Niwa just inevitably falls behind on healing, and YoungSung wins through a war of attrition.
Skywind seeing if he can get a little bit of damage here early on. They do push them back. Both trying to get that orb control. Jeter uses his space, gets the shield on the Ninjas. And I was trying to get control. Another great peel. Oh, look at that. Great steal from Shifu. Just at the tip of that M2 hitbox.
Just the tip.
Tries to get the harpoon into the wall to dodge the iframe. He's starting to run out. There's the Immaterial. I think he's got a counter he's holding. He's going to get petrified, and that's okay.
Yeah, the shield from DeWizzle thrown onto him so he doesn't take too much damage. But up top, Niwa, he's found himself in no man's land. He's surrounded by the red team. He throws out the goo, but that leaves him without roll. But the orb take from Excel Wizards grants him that roll.
That orb was actually massive for him.
It was.
The stun is going to find on full health Alicia. Not going to be able to get a lot of burst damage onto that. DeWizzle has an ultimate as well. Waiting for the escapes. He's just waiting for his spacebar. There's one from Thorn. No, he doesn't find any value. He didn't want to hold it for too long and waste too much value. And another orb for Excel Wizards. That's 3 orbs to none.
Yeah, Niwa's sitting on a full bar of energy again. He's going to throw it out now, but he didn't know the Dead Roots was available for Rare Peep. Rare Peep going to take no damage from the impact of that goo, and things are now looking very bad for Excel Wizards.
Shifu's almost got an ultimate, though, and he just countered in the middle of everybody. He's about to build it up. No, he gets an in cap. And a freeze. This is actually going to be huge damage on the holder. Jeter.
He hits the counter, or he hits the shield, though. Very unfortunate as that grants the cooldown reset on the space, and Jeter's able to get away.
Rare Peep now. Trying to keep everyone away. There's one ultimate. DeWitt lost the space out of there. Oh, they couldn't get the pull. If Jeter had gotten that pull, that would have been massive. DeWizzle would have been in a really dangerous spot. Niwa would have needed to use his shield to protect him.
Nice dodge on the entangling roots from Skywind, but he gets no value out of the in-cap. Excel Wizards, however, secure a 4th orb. Niwa almost back up at ulti again. The ulti going to be thrown out from DeWizzle, trying to find some damage onto the Thorn, but Jeter drops that ulti, but he's not going to land it on the Shifu.
He still tries to go in aggressively, gets the entangle and the ultimate.
Oh boy.
It does a lot of damage to him. He has no vision. Niwa has to heal himself outside of Skywind.
Nice little combo there on the back line of YoungSung, but still the damage coming out onto Ninja or onto DeWizzle is massive. Ninjas and his big ultimate gonna help YoungSung find the first kill of the round.
Skywind's got an ultimate. He might be able to take out Thorn. He's gonna try to take out Rare Peep with the barbed husk. It's gonna keep him alive, followed by an older ultimate. There's no way you're taking him down with all that support. And that might be the end of the fight for Excel Wizards.
The Burrow finishing off the Thorn suiting as Thorn pops up and finds the kill. Niwa thrown out into sudden death. The Dead Root's going to be thrown out for good measure. But YoungSung, it wasn't looking so good for him early on as Excel Wizards took orb after orb. But in the clutch, they managed to find a big kill on Dwizzle, and Ninja's really helping out his team. But the MVP, Rare Peep, he had so many big pulls on Niwa that forced him to roll and play very defensively. It seemed like Excel Wizards just found themselves having a hard time playing aggressively because Rare Peep's pressure was so massive.
But I think a lot of that turn was the ult for ult exchanges. Excel Wizards, knowing they'd force the escape, ulted, but then they were either dealing with another Thorn ult or an Older ult or something to get rid of, to iframe their entire ultimate and negate it. And I think that's when the energy trade kind of shifted, and Excel Wizards kind of started to lose that orb control, that essentially all the advantage they got from those orbs.
Skywind, he used his immaterial, his counter, and received a barrier. He has to get back now as all of the resources on Excel Wizards have been used. And YoungSung, they're going to get the orb off of this. Oh, as I say that, Skywind gets in there and snags it.
Skywind also, I believe, got the wall reset or recast on his harpoon.
Yeah, that's like the classic Skywind Shifu battle, right?
He loves it. I think it's cool. It gives you a little bit more options, especially when you're trying to dodge things. You'll see him always turn around just to try and iframe things by hitting a wall, but then he still has it to get the energy when smacking somebody else. You get 8% energy, which is pretty solid.
Good pull.
Yeah.
Good EX spear there to secure the orb. Skywind knew the pull was coming from Thorn. The goo coming out from Niwa gets a little bit of damage onto the Older, and he misses his Panic Flask after. A little bit of an unfortunate series of events for Excel Wizards as they didn't get as much as they wanted off that energy usage.
Skywind is playing incredibly well, though. He's been putting so much of a threat.
Oh.
There's one ultimate. There's the space on the Ninjas. That's what they wanted, and Jeter has to now heal himself. The ultimate from Ninjas helps secure them the orb. Dwizzle needing to back out of there. He didn't have freeze on him. The ultimate from Jeter. Will he use aggressively? No, he's going to go support his teammates. I like that decision.
Yeah, me too. He understood Niwa had both Clarity Potion and Roll. It wasn't worth throwing it on to the Lucy. The Petrify and double incap going to help Excel Wizards secure the orb. Beautiful CC to take that orb for free.
Skywind has really been playing well this round. His Shifu has been a massive threat. Didn't get the counter. Dwizzle's looking unbelievably low.
Yeah, he's in trouble here. And now the freeze, the ulti onto the Shifu. He uses that EX material and gets some healing off of the Thorn, but still the damage has been done as his max HP is so low.
Red team took that orb. Oh, he dedicated the tendon swing for that. There's the ultimate from Thorn. The EX material will get him out, but Lucy Niwa is trying to get out of there. Has to use barrier on herself. She's just going to go down to the burst from Alicia. So much damage. Dwizzle at this point just wants to CC anybody. Getting chased down by an Older. Ulting aggressively, and there it is. The ult to finish her off.
That swag ult over the wall. A double incap comes out from Skywind, but you know, he stops moving after that. YoungSung, they take 3 rounds in a row, and even though Excel Wizards are managing to get these orbs, YoungSung are still just taking more favorable trades. And Ninjas, he's really outputting this damage that we talked about. He's finding a lot of value off of his E, that AoE that drops the chill, and it's just helping him put out so much damage with his M1s. And Jeter doing a great job keeping his allies alive.
The value on their shields, on their heals, seems like Excel Wizards are seriously struggling to just lock down constant damage on a YoungSung, or permanent damage, I should say.
Right.
They're just not losing that max health. Even when Excel Wizards get orb after orb, energy and energy, and I think Skywind had almost every green pickup last round. He kept javelining to get all those green pickups, and they still couldn't lock down max health damage. And I think a lot of that, too, you look at the shield from Alicia, you look at the barbed husk, you look at the heals from Older. Oh, no, Skywind. Not in a great place right now. He's going to get petrified, which he's actually probably okay with. Give him a little bit of a shield.
They get the orb, Excel Wizards, but it's still not looking great for them. Some damage came out onto Rare Peep, but it's not looking good for Niwa on the backline, and Skywind's not doing much better either.
Ninjas just took so much, but the Ice Block's going to give him back almost all of it.
I love that ability. That ability is so incredibly strong. Gives you that healing and that massive shield. Skywind gets his counter in and is going to try to aggress, but he might end up taking a lot of damage here. The orb, though, secured by Dwizzle.
In-cap Ninjas, but the ultimate's going to save him from that. He also has an ultimate. He's going to get away from Skywind. He gets countered, and he's going to try and find her. Will we see Ninja's ult?
Ooh.
No, he's going to use the R to just push him back. Really well played. And again, Niwa just trying to stay in range of all of his teammates. They don't make his job easy.
The orb pull, it was mistimed by Rare Peep, and he desperately needed that recovery HP. The Thorn is down to about 80, and this is not where you want to be, as Dwizzle's sitting on an ultimate. Niwa was close to his, but was just forced to roll. Skywind, he EX materials and gets a barrier and goes in, but he has to now retreat.
There it is, that recast on a Javelin, proving to be so useful. He's one of the few, or probably the only one that I see that plays like that. Oh no, pulled out of the AoE from Alicia, and Skywind's able to secure it as he's sliding towards Thorn.
Traded some energy here, one ulti for another, and now Jeter, he's eating that goo, but they hit the shield, and with that, he has another space available. Jeter makes it out safely. The Jed Roots up top, not gonna get too much value onto Skywind, but Ninjas, he drops his ultimate, gets a nice burst of damage onto Niwa. Niwa gets pulled in. Rare Peep now committing everything onto him, and the Quicksand dealing a lot of damage. The Barbed Husk narrowly keeps Rare Peep alive. This is so close. Both melee players are able to make it out, but Shifu gets the orb.
Rare Peep can stay alive. If he just wants to build up enough energy, or wait for the cooldowns of his Barbed House so he can go in aggressively and have the confidence to at least have a decent amount of time alive. There's an ultimate, but it will miss. DeWizzle found nothing in that ultimate, not even an escape. That's not going to be great for him. Skywind getting the pull, the in cap. Will he stay alive? He does. They secure an orb, though. Rare Peep just barely stays alive. Skywind's about to have almost nothing left. There's the goo, but the ultimate from Older saves him. He finds it aggressively onto Niwa. Alicia goes down first.
They need the kill. They get the kill on Niwa. Oh, this is so tense. The Jed Roots gets a decent amount of value, but Shifu, a double in cap is huge, and Rare Peep is getting so low. Jeter trying his hardest to heal him up.
Oh, the petrify!
They stabilize. They need this orb. Whoever gets this orb is going to be in such a good position, and Excel Wizards get it. Oh, but they get the kill.
Oh, he got DeWizzle, but I don't know if he can survive this.
Oh my god.
Oh! He did it!
The draw! Sick play here from Skywind, helping his team secure the kill. I thought for sure that was going to go in Excel Wizards' way, but that last AoE, the last-ditch attempt from YoungSung to find a kill, ends up killing the Shifu. And my god, what a close round.
I mean, that entire round, at least the last, I'd say, minute was YoungSung just trying not to lose, it felt like. And just being like, we're going to bring you down with the ship. We're going to take as much health off you on every engage. Somehow, Rare Peep stayed alive till the bitter end.
Dude, I don't know how. He had like no HP for the whole second half of that round. Absolutely nuts that he was able to make it that far.
Skywind letting himself just eat that M2 to hold as many cooldowns as possible. There's the material. You didn't even need to use the energy for it. He hadn't taken any health yet. Oh, Ninja's just barely getting away from that incapacitate.
Yeah, that could have been very bad. A nice play from Ninjas, but Excel Wizards still going to manage to take that orb. And they're pulling ahead here a little bit, about 5% HP advantage, and they're starting to build up that very important energy.
I gotta say, I'm really enjoying seeing Skywind on this Shifu.
He's looking much better than he did on the Freya.
Going to help support his teammates, just couldn't get the M2 on the Ninjas. Oh, but he hits the shield from Jeter again, who's going to have his space bar. Rare Peep just going for the orb. Nice, I like it. Nice, and then an amazing pull onto DeWizzle.
Oh, the goo going to get no value. Niwa had a great barrier, but an unfortunate goo. And now Excel Wizards, they found themselves ahead early on, but they're now trailing about 30%. They have to play very smart if they want back into this round.
They just can't lock down damage on the Ninjas.
Yeah, and meanwhile, DeWizzle is just taking so much. They do get the orb off the back of a nice AoE being thrown out by the Alicia, but still, the advantage is massive for YoungSung.
Petrify on the Ninjas, so the damage might get negated a little bit, but DeWizzle right now in an unbelievably dangerous spot. Can they keep him alive? Just barely. They shred through that.
Yeah, they melt that ice block, and DeWizzle gonna go down. The amount of damage that was output by YoungSung right there was absolutely amazing. And without an Alicia, they're not gonna have anybody to help Skywind. Skywind gets a nice double in cap, but the orb goes to YoungSung, and it's looking like this is all but over.
After such a great round, nearly taking it off of Excel Wizards. Seems like Excel Wizards turned around, figured it out. Able to keep the CC. I really like just the way they alternate their CCs between either DeWizzle or Niwa. Yep. Always making sure that either you have no heals or you don't have that range damage. There's not a whole lot you're going to be able to do against a good Shifu. He does a really good job of rotating his abilities.
Yes.
You can try your best to CC him, but he's probably going to have something. And then also he's got a Niwa on his team for a clarity.
And a barrier.
And a barrier. Yep. So it's going to be really tough. I'd love to know, did DeWizzle's ice block really get shredded that much, or did he accidentally cancel the partway through?
No, man, that thing got melted.
It really did get melted.
Even just M1s and that quicksand from Older just melted it down in a second, and it gave him a little bit of healing, but it just got ruined so quickly. The amount of damage they put out onto DeWizzle was insane, and that's YoungSung. They will coordinate, and they will take down one player in an instant.
Now we're going to see Skywind again trying to push that backline on. Rare Peep actually sticking with his team this time. Not really going in, not pushing on that. On their opponent's backline. DeWizzle just trying to dodge as much as possible. Here comes the orb. Who's going to secure it? Red team secure the first orb. It's not as telling for the rest of the series.
Yeah, Skywind, he goes in, gets a nice end cap, but he's already taking quite a bit of damage. There's no barrier to help him out either. And Rarepeep, he understands that. He gets a nice pull back onto him. Skywind's trying to engage, but without that counter being procced, he has to run away here.
Yeah, he's going to post a selfie. There's an ultimate. He has to EX in material, so he's going to heal up a little bit. And he secures the orb, actually, straight through the back of Ninjas on an M2. Skywind picking up all the shards he can. The Whizzle being kept at bay from Ninja's AoE. Almost an ult for Shifu. Are we going to see a spin to win? There's
what?
What a nice incapacitate!
Skywind, hello? He gets some nice healing from his EX space too, and just like that, Skywind's back at half. The ulti, it gets dropped onto the Thorn, and this burst damage is pretty massive. Thorn loses a little bit of 2 HP, but he's still relatively healthy compared to the Shifu.
Oh, not anymore though. Look at that. Honestly, and
on the other side, Niwa just getting destroyed by Ninjas in this 1v1.
He's just standing right next to him.
Thorn gets the nice ultimate from Jeter and helps him escape, and YoungSung secures the orb.
There's nothing Niwa can do here. He's just getting hunted down right now.
Wow, yeah.
He couldn't get away from Ninjas. He had him on the rotation. They need this kill right now on a Thorn. This is the time for the kill, and they get it. But there's no more. Oh, there's just enough cooldowns. He hit the counter. Didn't get the freeze. Skywin got an ultimate as well.
YoungSung, though, they have a massive HP advantage and the healer. The Petrify coming out, but the freeze is the answer. Older's not going to be taking that orb, and Skywind nabs it right after his Petrify runs out.
The Whizzle needed that health. That was huge for him.
He did.
Oh, Jeter's going to take a lot, but his teammate's going to go down. Or no, sorry, Skywind's teammate's going to go down. He hits himself with a counter.
Yeah, this is not looking good. This is looking like the Shifu's going to likely go down here. He eats an EXM1 from Jeter. He tries to spear to the orb, but it hadn't spawned yet. No counter left. Skywind's in trouble. YoungSung, they take it. 5-0.
Now without a valiant effort from Excel Wizards. I got to say, I was already a pretty big fan of Skywind on Shifu, but he just reminded me I'm a pretty big fan of Skywind on Shifu. He played really well. He really honestly did. But it's just such a difficult team comp when you're up against essentially what now is to be 2 support mains.
Yeah.
You got Ninjas and Jeter. Ninjas who can put this massive shield on anybody. Thorn who can put this massive shield on anybody. Older who, you know, can heal, which is a pretty big thing to stay alive.
Yeah, you know, healing helps. Who would have thought? If you heal, you will be less likely to die.
You'll die less often.
Amazing. And yeah, of course, they were up